Hello, my name is Chelsea Sturgill, and this is my monologue dissecting thoughts and feelings of an adult adoptee. Often when people hear the word adoption, they think of an infertile, childless couple delightedly gazing into the eyes of their recently adopted newborn baby. They are thrilled to finally be parents and are totally involved in meeting the immediate needs of the child. But what about the years that follow? Do the effects of adoption stop the moment that a child comes home to new parents? Those closely associated with adult adopted persons, birth parents, adoptive parents, and their friends and family know that these effects can be felt for a long time. In fact, a lifetime. As an adoptee myself, I have struggled with low self-esteem and identity problems. I have been nervous that people are always going to leave me. I spent a lot of time wondering why my birth parents didn't want me and why they would have been what they would have been like if they had kept me. I struggled a lot wondering why they couldn't handle me and didn't want to take me. Many of my issues seem to be related to me being adopted. Some adopted persons are able to work through their feelings on their own or with the support of friends and families. I needed therapy and had to seek professional help to get me through everything. As an adopted person, I struggle with thoughts of depression and alcohol use. I still struggle to maintain intimate relationships. I felt for a long time that I wasn't worth love from anybody. It took a long time for me to let someone get to know me and completely be vulnerable with them. I still have to fight not to ruin the relationship because I get scared or nervous. As a teen, I questioned myself a lot. I didn't know who I was. I asked many questions like, who am I? Where do I fit? What do I want to do with my life? For those who are adopted, the search for personal identity is complicated every step of the way by the mystery of their genetic background. We often wonder who gave us our personal characteristics, and we want to know about our adoptive parents. And we want to know things like, where did I get my artistic talent? Where did I get my blonde hair from? Were my parents short? Was everybody tall? What is my ethnic background? Why was I placed for adoption? I felt a lot of resentment because I didn't look like my other siblings or parents. It made me feel even more alone than I already was. I believe that my siblings made me the person that I am tremendously because they always told me to be proud of myself. In many families, siblings play an important role in shaping each other's outcomes and lives across development. An article from J Farm Psychology. I struggle with many thoughts of abandonment and feelings of being left behind forever. I didn't understand why my parents couldn't take care of my wants and needs. Until I became older, I blamed them for leaving me. I have abandonment issues now and have had a hard time connecting to others. As an adult, I fear relationships and commitment. My fear of abandonment and low self-esteem often led me to sabotage my relationships. Being vulnerable is something that I've had to learn how to do again so that I can let people close to me. I still tend to avoid intimacy because I'm uncomfortable with the openness and vulnerability that those relationships entail. According to helpguide.com, people who have been adopted may find that it's difficult to connect to others, shy away from intimacy, or be too clingy, fearful, or anxious in relationships. I found this to be extremely true for me because I've had difficulty getting close to people and being intimate. I still have hard times getting close and letting even my friends know a lot about me. Most people take for granted the fact that they have access to their genetic and medical information. A big part of being an adopted kid is not having any information about your biological family. When you go to the doctor, they ask all kinds of questions about your family history, and I never knew what to write. Being adopted, it was a difficult task getting my information in. I went through many years of counseling to talk to my counselor about adoption, my adoption experience, and figure out who I was. I found out how to cope with a lot of the things that I learned about my biological family. I was hesitant in asking my adopted parents about my biological family because I didn't want them to feel hurt. My adopted family, however, was super supportive of me learning about my birth parents, and it ended up to us feeling very close to each other. They helped me get to know them and helped me realize that I do not need to meet my biological parents to feel good about myself and that I am okay with who I am. In conclusion, adoption brings with it certain core issues. As an adopted child, as I grew into adulthood, I have carried my thoughts and feelings about being adopted with me. I have no greater difficulty than dealing with those feelings sometimes, and I struggle with letting people get close to me and being intimate. But with counseling and therapy and a lot of talk from my adoptive parents, I have learned to be okay with it and to be thankful that I have a family.